Today we're going to talk about the CAGED system. It's a system for understanding the guitar, and it uses 5 basic open position chords: C, A, G, E, and D. Hence the name, the CAGED system. Again, C, A, G, E, D, which spells the word caged. Now, what does this all mean? Well, it means that all of these chords are movable up the fretboard. So, for example, I'll take one of the easier ones first. If we take this E chord, regular open position E chord, and we change some fingerings for the sake of visualization only, and we, instead of putting 2, 3, 1 for the E chord, that's how I'm doing it now, we use 3, 4, and 2. Ring finger, pinky, and middle finger. And we change it to that. And now our first finger is free. Now you'd never play the E chord like this. If you're strumming something, you're never gonna play the E chord like this with your 3rd, 4th, and 2nd finger. But for the sake of visualization, and you'll see in a moment why we're doing it now. So again, we're doing 3, 4, 2, and your first finger now is free. Here it is right here. And that is going to act as a bar. So we're going to take this E shape, this E chord, and we're going to move it up a half step and now bar with our first finger. And our first finger, in essence, is now acting just like the nut of the guitar. Or a capo. Many people would put a capo here and they play an E chord, and that's the same chord. So your E shape, when you move it up, becomes this bar chord. You can move it all the way up the fretboard. At this point, you can play every major chord. And in order to know what the names of all these chords are, because of course they're not all E, please refer back to our earlier video, which discusses whole steps and half steps. So there's your E shape. Let me show you all of them. We'll go in order now. So here's your C chord. So if we take this shape, and again, we have to change fingers as we move it up the fretboard, and instead of playing our C chord, 3, 2, open, 1, we're going to play 4, 3, open, 2. And again, now we have this bar here, which of course, when we move it up, watch what's going to happen. And again, you can move this chord. If you notice, there's still the C shape. There's the C chord. Normally it's like that, but we had to change fingers, remember. And when you move it up the fretboard, anywhere you go, it's still going to be a major chord. These are 5 types of major chords: C, A, G, E, and D. So that's your C shape. Here's your A shape. Here's your normal A chord. This time we're going to bar it with the 3rd finger. And again, here's our bar, and we just bring it up, and there's our A shape, and we're moving it right up the fretboard. And it's very easy. G shape, here's our G chord. Get ready for a big stretch. Here comes a big stretch. And instead of playing G, 2, 1, and 3, some of you might play it like this: 3, 2, 4. If you play it like that, you're already in good shape, because here's what's going to happen. See this bar? You got to get it all the way up there. There it is. And you move it all the way up. Still see the G chord. E chord we already talked about. E, just like that, move it up. And the D chord, instead of 1, 3, 2, we're gonna play 2, 4, 3, and here's your chord moving up, and you still see the D shape right there. Let's review them real quick. C becomes this, and you just move it up and bar. A becomes this, and you just move it up and bar. It's actually not a bar, I guess, for all of them, because you have to, it's just the first finger on the 5th string for this one. G, you move it up and bar. E, move it up, there you go, and bar. Whoops. D, change the fingerings, and move it up and put your first finger on the 4th string, and there you go. Now, how I suggest learning this is to learn the CAGED system in one key. For example, this is the C form of C. The root for the C form of C and the root for the A form of C are exactly in the same place. All you need to do is this. Here's your C form. Now where your third finger is on C, put your first finger there and play your A form, and there's another C chord. See where your third finger is here? This then becomes the top of the G form. And see where your third finger is now? This is the beginning of the E form. And where your fourth finger is now, that's the beginning of the D form. I'll do it again. Where your third finger is for the C form, put your first finger there now, and it becomes the root for the A form. These are all C chords. Where your third finger is becomes the top of the G form. Again, G form, but G form of a C chord because of where our finger is, where the root is. There's your G form again. And then the third finger becomes the root of the E form. And then your fourth finger becomes the root of the D form. So you should be able to do this in any key realistically. And I want to point out quickly how to find the roots for these CAGED system chords. So there's only 3 places on the fretboard, 5 chords, but only 3 places on the fretboard where the roots are. So the root for the C chord and the root for the A chord are exactly in the same place in the key. We'll do it in the key of C again since that's the key we're in. There's the root for the C chord, and it's the same place, 3rd fret of the 5th string for the A chord. Then you have the root on the 6th string. Remember how in our A form, the 3rd finger becomes the top of the G form. And now our root is down here on the 6th string, 8th fret in the key of C. And then that same root, same place for the E form. So remember, we had 2 on the A string, 2 roots on the A string, 2 roots on the 3rd fret in the key of C, 5th string. And we have 2 roots on the E string, both on the 8th fret, G form and E form. And then you have one more, which is just your octaves. Here's an octave. 6th string, 4th string, 2 frets higher. In this case, 8th fret, 6th string, 10th fret, 4th string. And that's where your root is for your D form. 1 place, 2 places, and there's your 3rd place. This is going to help you in the future if you can get a firm grasp and a complete understanding of the CAGED system. You will then be able to play all of your chords, all of your scales, all of your leads and solos, if you will, in 5 different places on the guitar. So good luck. Don't forget to check out the PDFs, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and as always, email us with questions. Happy learning.